Hello, friend. Welcome back to Couch Tales, Why We Do What We Do, the place where we dive into the funny, sometimes not so funny psychology of what makes us tick. I'm your host, Anna Lea, and today's episode is part 2 of our deep dive into narcissism. In the first episode, we met Baby Doll and Stan, a couple where Stan's narcissistic behavior started to show. But what if Baby Doll is in this for the long haul? What if she finds herself married to Stan? Or in a long-term relationship with someone who has narcissistic tendencies? Well, today we're going to talk about how Baby Doll can protect her sanity and happiness in that situation. Stick around because you won't believe the practical tools we have at the end for navigating this tricky emotional landscape. When the rose-colored glasses fade, the reality of a long-term narcissistic relationship. If Baby Doll finds herself in a long-term relationship with Stan or anyone with narcissistic traits, she may notice the behavior doesn't go away just because they've gotten more serious. The love bombing may stop, the critiques may get louder, and the control may get even trickier. But it doesn't mean all hope is lost. If Baby Doll is serious about staying in the relationship, and it's totally her choice to do so, there are some real strategies she can use to protect herself and even bring back some balance. Here's the good news. She doesn't have to lose herself to Stan's insecurity or toxicity. Let's take a look at what she can do if she stays. A reminder, this episode is for informational purposes only and not considered professional advice. But if you're in a relationship that's starting to feel more like a game of emotional whack-a-mole than a loving partnership, you're going to want to stick around. Number 1, boundaries are non-negotiable. First things first, boundaries. If Baby Doll is committed to staying with Stan, she needs to establish clear and healthy boundaries. Narcissists thrive when they can push the limits of their partner's emotional capacity. Stan might try to push her to be more accommodating, give up her independence, or even guilt trip her into sacrificing her needs for his. How can Baby Doll do this? Well, communicate openly and calmly. I don't appreciate it when you accuse me of flirting with others. I expect respect in this relationship, and I won't tolerate being made to feel guilty for things I haven't done. Consistency is key. Narcissists will test boundaries over and over. If Baby Doll doesn't stick to her boundaries, Stan will learn that he can manipulate her into compliance. Use I statements when setting boundaries. Baby Doll can avoid sounding accusatory. For example, instead of, "You're always criticizing me," she can say something like, "I feel hurt when I'm criticized without reason, and I need space to talk about my feelings." The goal here isn't to fight, but to create a space where she isn't walked all over. Boundaries keep the relationship healthy and respectful, even if it means confronting uncomfortable truths. Number 2, build a support network. Even if Baby Doll wants to stay with Stan, it's crucial that she maintains a strong support network outside of the relationship. Narcissistic partners often try to isolate their loved ones, making them feel like they have no one else, and sometimes creating distance between their partner and their partner's friends. But Baby Doll shouldn't let this happen. How Baby Doll can do this? Stay close to friends and family. Whether it's her childhood friend Karen, who always knows how to make her laugh, or her mom who gives the best advice, Baby Doll should stay connected to people who make her feel seen and heard. Seek therapy or counseling. Finding a therapist or counselor who understands narcissistic behavior can help Baby Doll process her emotions and gain insight into her relationship. Therapy can be an essential tool for keeping her grounded and reminding her of her own self-worth. Stan may try to make her feel guilty about spending time with others, but Baby Doll's support system is her safety net. She can lean on them when the criticism becomes too much. Number 3, self-care is a lifeline. Let's face it, being with a narcissist can be emotionally draining. Baby doll needs to remember that her emotional well-being matters and self-care is key to keeping her sanity intact. So how can baby doll do this? Exercise regularly. Whether it's going for a walk, joining a yoga class, or hitting the gym, physical activity helps reduce stress and improves mood. Practice mindfulness. Breathing exercises, meditation, or journaling can help baby doll stay present and centered. A narcissist's gaslighting tactics can leave her questioning reality, but mindfulness can help her focus on what's real and what isn't. Engage in hobbies. Baby doll should make time for the things she loves: painting, reading, dancing, whatever brings her joy. These activities will remind her of her identity outside of her relationship with Stan. By prioritizing her well-being, baby doll can create emotional space for herself even when Stan is trying to drain it. Number 4, be realistic about change. This one's tough, but it's necessary. Narcissists rarely change, especially without professional help. While baby doll might hope that Stan will eventually realize the error of his ways, the truth is, change requires a lot of self-awareness and a desire to improve, things that are usually missing from narcissistic personalities. So how can baby doll do this? Well, be realistic about the future. If Stan refuses to acknowledge his behavior and keeps projecting his insecurities on her, she needs to ask herself whether she's willing to keep sacrificing her emotional health for the sake of the relationship. Know when to walk away. Sometimes the most loving thing baby doll can do for herself is leave. If Stan's behavior continues to be emotionally abusive and nothing changes, it might be time to reassess whether the relationship is worth the cost of her mental health. And number 5, empower yourself and celebrate your worth. Above all else, baby doll should celebrate her worth. Narcissists like Stan are skilled at making their partners feel small, but baby doll deserves to know that she's amazing just as she is. So how can baby doll do this? Affirmations. Every day she should say out loud or write down positive affirmations about herself, like, I am worthy of love and respect. I am not defined by anyone's insecurities. Celebrate her achievements. Whether it's a small win at work or a personal accomplishment, baby doll should take the time to celebrate herself and remember that she is worthy of good things in life. Just a friendly reminder, this is not professional advice, but if it were, baby doll could use these strategies to regain control and reclaim her peace. Narcissistic relationships are challenging, but with the right tools, she can navigate them with grace and strength. So if baby doll wants to stay with Stan long term, it will take effort to protect herself and keep her sense of identity intact. Narcissists may have a knack for making you doubt your worth, but no one deserves to be treated like an accessory. Love should lift you up, not drag you down. All right, that's it for today's episode of Couch Tales, Why We Do What We Do. I'm your host, Anna Lea. And if you like this episode, please take a moment to follow us. Click that subscribe button and share this episode with a friend. Drop a comment if you've ever found yourself in a relationship with narcissistic tendencies, or if you've struggled with how to keep your sense of self in a long-term relationship. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Until next time, friend, stay curious, stay kind, and remember, you deserve love that lifts you up, not drags you down. And oh, before I forget, you don't forget to come on back for part 3.